I hope that hits just right. A nice blast of Dominican cigar smoke to begin this particular episode of Two Hands and a Face Audio. We are featuring another wonderful device from MXR. We love MXR. We've got a total gear crush going on for MXR in this household, you may have noticed. But we're looking at a very simply named device called the MXR Reverb. That's the entire name of the pedal, Reverb. And amplifiers usually include a reverb. They don't always include a good one. There are some very high-end, good sounding, great sounding, in fact, amplifiers out there in the marketplace that don't include a reverb at all. So the occasion of which you find yourself with an amp that you love the sound of, but you either don't like the sound of its reverb or it in fact does not have a reverb, this MXR Reverb pedal might be an option for you. Now, this device is incredibly feature-rich. I'm going to touch on it as efficiently as I can. Here's our regular sound. I've dialed out my amplifier reverb so that it doesn't interfere with the effect of the pedal that we want you to hear and love. And I'm betting that you will. So we've got a very standard, clean sound, nice and round, nice and clear, a lot of bottom end and warmth. Let's engage our MXR Reverb pedal on one of its many voices. It comes standard with 6. It's got 6 voices to choose from that are all beautiful. So let's start with what they're calling their plate reverb. And hear how incredibly long and waveless and smooth that stretches into the horizon. A plate reverb sound is inspired by the former era of recording. We're going back decades here when studios included large stainless steel plates that they actually used in the signal path to create this long, smooth, reverberative effect. There's no wave in it. There's no bouncing around like with a spring reverb. It's just a really, really plush, very beautiful sounding. Incredibly smooth, incredibly deep. In fact, let's deepen the effect a little bit so that you can hear just how dramatic a good plate sound can be. Goes on, it seems, for miles. Not that you would ever use one to this extent, but when you dial it back from no man's land, you get a really beautiful sound that's smooth and lengthy and deep and has no waves or deformation of wave in it. Let's cycle on to our next one, which is a recreation of a very popular spring reverb, where you're going to hear a little bit of a spring effect, a little bit of a boing sound, a little bit of a tiny notched wave in the signal. Here's our signal without it, and here's our signal with it. Very much a spring sound, like you would hear in an amp, possibly an older amp, maybe a newer one, that actually uses a coiled spring as part of your signal path. And that's how they achieve that effect. So we're going to move on to the next offering, which is called Epic. And it's called that because it simply creates a huge, massive tidal wave of reverberation to the horizon. We've got it dialed in quite a bit. Let's back it off a little bit so that you can see the versatility of it. Beautiful sound. The next feature they introduce is called mod, and it's actually a modulator. It's a pitch modulator. You can hear it. It introduces a wavy effect, a modulating effect. And I'm going to dial it up beyond what would be normally used just so that you can hear the lushness of the effect. Incredible effect. I've got it dialed way up. You can dial it back and you can use it in place of your chorus effect. Beautiful effect if you want that nice touch of modulation without the phasing sound. And here it is incorporated into your reverb pedal. So let's move on and show off a couple of other amazing things that this device tends to do. We're going to try a feature that it's calling the room reverb. Now, we all know that the room reverb is a captured sound. It's something that is intended to emulate the travel of your signal in a room of measured size, whether it's your living room or whether it's a small club. But here's the effect at large. Great sound. You can dial it up for more drama, and you can shorten its decay. So you got kind of a rockabilly verb going on here if that's kind of what you want. And it's a great way to emphasize, short picking runs. Great effect. Okay, the last feature we will demonstrate for time's sake on this wonderful device is called pad. Beg your pardon, I was having a good blast of Dominican smoke. Now I'm going to have a little sip. Happy holidays, everybody. Dominican smoke, Kentucky bourbon. This is part of the formula of life, my friends. I don't want to say too much about it, but it truly is. Now back to the pad feature on the wonderful MXR Reverb. This part of the device actually recreates your signal at several different frequencies of reverb. It sounds as though you're having a keyboard use a pad function or pad synthesis to play along with you. It's an amazing effect. I'll demonstrate it now. Sounds like we have an organ accompanist, and that's amazing. You can use your tone control to concentrate the area of reverberation to the bass or treble frequencies. As you can well imagine, there's a great many different settings that you can use within the configuration of these controls. You've got a tone control that shifts the focus of the device to high or low. You've got a mix control, which obviously controls the amount of dry signal to the amount of wet signal. You've got a decay control that will make the affected signal last longer, or you can shorten it up, get that rockabilly reverb if you want it. And the tone control is also a push button momentary, and it takes you through these 6 different phases of this incredible device. So I hope that you will go to your store, and it's going to take you hours to try this out. I'm sorry, it's so cool. You're going to love every second of it. The reverbs are absolutely beautiful. The plate's amazing. The mod feature is absolutely gorgeous. The pad feature, where you're getting the incidental keyboard accompaniment, is probably the most single impressive part of this device. And man, you should hear it on a 12-string acoustic. Absolutely amazing. I can't encourage you enough to go out to your MXR dealer, which should be plentiful. Can't walk 10 feet in any major city without tripping over an MXR dealer, man. And go find one of these, plug into it. You're going to spend, I promise you, at least an hour piddling about with it. It's a wonderful gadget. You should definitely include it in your stable. It'll do amazing things for you, and a lot of them on stage. And I hope that you enjoyed our presentation this evening, and I hope that you will come back and see us again and hit that subscribe button. We would love to share more of our experiences with you. Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas.